Hi guys, welcome to another beautiful episode of this guitar lesson. So today we'll be looking at a very interesting topic. We'll be looking at guitar scales. So I'm really sure you enjoy what I just played now. It's actually a guitar scale sequence. So but before that, I'm going to be taking you through what a scale is and then the various kinds of scales we have in music generally.
Here in New World is all about music. Pentatonic scales, more like the major scales. You just have to remove the fa and the T. We go re, mi, so I go. MOSAX New World Empire.
So first of all, let's go by the definition of what a scale is. A scale is actually a graduated succession of musical notes. You could call it a succession or it could be a sequence. So it's a gradual sequential movement of musical notes that could be in an ascending or a descending order. So from here, A. This is a gradual and a sequential movement of notes. Having said that, we'll be looking at the various kinds of scales we have in music. To be honest, there are various kinds of scales out there. But basically, there are just few of them we'll be looking at, and then these few ones I'll be giving you out are the major, like they are the most used scales we have, like they are the commonly used scales we have. So first of all, we have the major scale, we have the minor scale, we have the pentatonic scale, which also has its major and minor patterns, and we also have the chromatic scale. After that, we have the whole tone scale. And then we have the modes. So having said that, today we'll be looking at the major scale. We'll know what a major scale is, and then we'll know the intervals that are involved in a major scale. So guys, for the sake of this lesson, I'll be using the key of A major. So first of all, we'll be looking at the intervals that are involved in a major scale. So I'm going to play the scale and then I'll explain to you the intervals involved in the scale. So this is the scale. I'm sure some of you are confused what an interval is. Yes, an interval is just the distance between two musical notes. So if I'm playing my A now, this is my Do, and then my Re, the interval between these two notes is a whole step or a whole tone. So you can see you counted like from here. You're counting from here now. You're counting 1 and 2. So the distance between my Do and my Re is a whole step or a whole tone. And then from my Re to my Mi is also a whole step. Mi is also a whole step. If I'm to use this 6 string, it will be Do, Re, Mi. But since we want to have this scale in a particular pattern, I'll be showing you this in this very pattern. We're not moving anywhere outside this pattern. So the distance between my Do to my Re is a whole step. From my Re to my Mi is also a whole step. Then from my Mi to my Fa in every major scale, the distance from the Mi to the Fa of every major scale is a semitone, which is a half step. So you can see the movement. From here now, I'm moving just one semitone. So from the top, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. Then from my Fa to my So is a whole step. The movement, you can see this is my Fa, and then from here now, Fa, from my Fa we have 1, 2. So from the top again, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So. So from Do to Re, whole step, Re to Mi, whole step, then Mi to Fa, half step, and then Fa to So is a whole step. Then from So to La is also a whole step. Like I said, we want to maintain a particular pattern. So if I'm to move from this Sol now to La, it will be Sol, La. You can see that it's also what, a whole step. But since we're maintaining one pattern, so it will be Sol, La. We're now on the 4th string. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Then my La, from my La to my T is also a whole step. So La, T, you can see I'm moving 1, 2 semitones. So La, T. Then Do, from my T to my Do is a semitone, which is a half step. So one thing I want you to understand about this major scale is from your Mi to your Fa is a semitone, which is a half step, and then from your T to your Do is also what, a half step, which is a semitone. So how do you play this major scale? I'll be showing you the right fingering for this major scale. So first of all, you're starting the root note with your middle finger. So you place your middle finger on the Do of your key. And for the sake of this class, like I said, we'll be using key A major. So my middle finger is on the A, which is our Do. So the next finger, the finger that plays your Re is your pinky. This is called a pinky. So it's your smallest and the tiniest finger. So your Do, Re, and then the finger that plays the Mi is your index finger. It plays the Mi. And then the finger that plays the Fa is the finger after the index finger, which is this. And then the finger that plays your Sol is the pinky, which is this. So Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. And then the finger that plays your La, is this index finger. Then the finger that plays your T is the ring finger. And then your Do is the smallest finger, which is the pinky. So every finger is assigned to a particular fret. Every finger 1, 2, 3, and 4, they are all assigned to a particular fret. Every finger should be conversant with its own particular fret. There are times where you have to change, yes. When it comes to other patterns of this major scale, we have other patterns where you extend your fingers, where you have notes like this. So that time you begin to expand your finger, and then it gives you a wider scope of the major scale. So, but for the sake of this very pattern, your finger is supposed to be custom, or is supposed to be conversant with a particular fret. So since we're starting with the middle finger, and the middle finger is the one playing the root note, so it means everything that has to do with this very fret, from the very 6th string to the first string, this finger is responsible for every note that is going to be played here. And then this index finger, whatever note you're going to play on this very fret, this finger is responsible. And the same rule applies to the middle finger, sorry, the ring finger, and then the pinky. So that's just the simple logic behind the right fingering for this very pattern of the major scale. So let me go over the scale again. So it goes like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Going to the next octave, there's a slight change in the fingering, so which I'm going to show you now. So from the first octave, this is what we have. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Let me go over it again from the very first octave to the second. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Your Re now. This is the finger. Your index finger is the finger playing the Re. Then from your Re to Mi, like I said, it's a whole step. Then Then from your mi to fa, it's a standard rule that cannot be changed. If it's altered, then it's no longer a major scale. So from your re to mi, it's a whole step. Then from your mi to fa, it's a half step. Re, mi, fa, then so. You can see this note is in the jurisdiction of this finger. So there's no way I would use this finger to play the note that is within this very fret. Yes. So it goes like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Then la. You can see this note is also lying on this very fret. So it means the right finger to play the note here is the pinky. Then ti, do, ti, do. You can see it's a half step, interval of a half step. Just a half step movement here. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, fa. So that's just the right fingering for the first pattern. This is the most commonly like the first pattern every beginner should know when it comes to the major scale. So the interval again, let me go. Do to re is whole step, re to mi whole step, mi to fa half step, fa to sol whole step, sol to la whole step, la to ti whole step, ti to do half step. So whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. In our next class, I'll be giving us very interesting sequences on the major scale, and then we'll be going further to look at other patterns of the major scale that gets you out of this very box. Because if you want to actually solo, you want to improvise using this major scale, it is very important as a guitarist to think beyond this very box. This box is very important, but when you begin to play other patterns of the major scale, it gets you off this very box, because you not be really caged to this very pattern. You can explore down to, like, you can explore the entirety of this fretboard. And trust me, this fretboard is like your world of possibility. So let me just go over the sequence. I will not really go in depth on the sequence of this, but I just want you to have an insight, just a little knowledge about the sequence. So this sequence can also help you start improvisation. It can help you start to solo over a song. So let me just play over the sequence. So I'll go over the sequence, and then more explanations on this sequence will come in our next video. So I would really appreciate if you click the subscribe button, and then don't forget to also hit the notification bell, because once this video drops, you'll be the first to get the video. Okay, so guys, the sequence I played is actually more like a finger exercise, and also a sequence that could help you start out as a solo guitarist. And then the descending goes like this. I will need you to take out your time and rehearse this efficiently and effectively. And also remember to start out slowly. Use the slowest tempo you can think of. So from there you start building up the tempo, and before you know it, you are speeding up. So make sure you remember to practice and practice and practice and practice See you next time.